This is my favorite example of working students through number sense and reasoning. This is a junior high example, although it's not limited to junior high in any way. We're supposed to fill out this table by only using mental math. Now, percent is so important in our everyday life. We use percentages to calculate tax, to calculate tip, to calculate interest on our credit cards or on our mortgage. We also use percent when we talk about investments. Now, percent traditionally is taught with a variety of methods. Most involve little to no understanding of the mathematical concepts. For example, we would set up a cross multiplication and we would cross multiply and divide, or we would divide by 100, move the decimal, and then multiply, and very, very confusing for students. This way is a way that will work for any single percent, and it can all be done with mental math. If we look here, we are given $80 to start, and this is equal to 100%. So what we would ask is we'd ask that the child thinks about, or adult in this case, thinks about for 50%. Okay, so I think half of 80 is $40. Now I can go wherever I want to next. In fact, I'm going to go right to 10% because I know that 80 divided by 10 will give me 10%, so I know that it will be 8. From my 10%, I'm going to go to my 1%. And I know that 1% is just divided by 100 because that would be 100th, so it will be 80 cents. If I double that, that will give me 2%, which is $1.60. If I half my 10%, it will give me 5%, so 4. Let's see, if I times my 4 by 5, it will take me right to 25%, so this will be 20. Now with my benchmarking table that is complete, oh look, I can check and make sure if it's right here. Okay, good. Now I can calculate in my mind the percent of any number. So I'm going to try 30% of 80. For 30% of $80, I'm going to use my 25%, which is 20, plus my 5%, which is 4. So I know that 30% of 80 is 24. There's also other ways to figure it out. I could use my 5%, which is 4, and I can multiply it by 6. 4 times 6 is 24. Let's try another one. Let's try 75% of 80. 75% of 80 should be fairly easy. My 25% of 80 is 20, and if I just multiply that by 3, I will get 60. Okay. Let's try 90% of 80. So I'm actually going to go 100% of 80, which is $80. And I want 10% less, minus 8. So 80 minus 8 will be $72. Now, I would often as possible, try to get my child to do mental math whenever we're in a real life situation. If we're out at a restaurant and the bill comes, I would ask them to quickly calculate the 5% GST and quickly calculate the 15 or 20% tip. Every person should be able to quickly calculate 10% in their mind, and then to calculate a 20% tip, I would times that by 2, or to calculate a 5% tax, I would cut that in half.